Hello, it's George from Australia and welcome to Gaming My Whole Life, where I discuss everything video game related from good old past pixels to the birth of 3D until now. Welcome to my humble smexy Australian gaming YouTube channel. Now ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be a different one from my normal. I wanted to help out the casual. I want to help out someone who maybe doesn't have as much experience as us, or help out someone who maybe has just as much experience as me, but for whatever reason is struggling with Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance 2. I freaking love it. I've literally put in like 90 hours into the first Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance game, and I'm vigorously enjoying Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance 2, now available in the PC and modern consoles. Love it, love it, love it. That being said though, I wanted to help out anyone who's maybe struggling a little bit with the game, who maybe isn't familiar with the mechanics. Let me teach you. I'm not going to be all smug and like, I am epic gamer, I know things you don't. Let me help you, right? So this is going to be a little bit of a slow-paced video. I'm going to record myself starting a new game, playing it from scratch. This is not going to be one of those really quick snippets. The idea is to get rid of the anxiety and the discomfort you have around playing this game in the first place, to become comfortable, to make it your own, and more importantly, to enjoy the game. And of course, since I've literally put like 100 hours into the series, I'll give you some pro tips to make things a lot easier so you don't need to learn it the hard way. And if you are new here, do subscribe, hit the bell notification. As I said, normally I don't do videos like this, but what I do is always stay positive. So to be frank, none of my subscribers will be surprised that I'm uploading this video, even if it gets very little views, because I like to give back to my community. And what better way to give back than to help someone enjoy a game that they otherwise simply don't understand or are struggling with, would like some guidance, whatever. Enough talk, let's get to the video. Alrighty, so this is the first screen you are going to be greeted with Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance 2. Such an improvement over the original. I'm eventually going to do a lot of reviews on this game, but let's stay focused, right? First, you're going to want to click on Start New Game. This game lets you play 1 or 2 players, so if you want to play 2 players with a buddy, go for it. Otherwise, we're just going to go with 1 player. And of course, you have easy, normal, and hard. Naturally, if you're looking at a how-to video, you probably want to start with easy. I'm going to do normal just because, well, that's where all my experience is, and I feel I'd give you wrong advice if I select easy. So let's go normal. Now this is the fun bit, right? This is the fun bit. You have freaking 5 characters to choose from, right? And this is where the intimidation may already start off with this game, right? It's like 5, where do you even begin? There's a cleric, there's a rogue, there's a necromancer, there's a monk, and there is a barbarian. Now my first run through of the game, which I'm going through literally as we speak, is with the cleric. However, for a how-to video, I think your best bet is a barbarian. Pro tip, if you struggle with games or you just want a little bit of an easier experience, right? Again, no judgment, I swear I don't judge you for it. But go with the fighter or the barbarian, because they are normally the least complicated character to control, because instead of worrying about what magic do I upgrade and other complicated attributes, instead it's like, right, what's the biggest axe I can find, right? It's just a smoother experience. So let's go with the barbarian. I'm going to skip story and this and that because that's not what this is about, right? Alright, so firstly, I have it set up. I'm playing this on my PC. It'll be different if you have a video game controller, but if you're on PC, then WASD will move you around, right? When you play on PC, it is a joint effort between your left hand pressing the buttons on the keyboard and your right hand moving the mouse. Alright, so let's go over the most basics, right? You can move up, down, left, right. You can rotate the camera in the majority of instances, which is something which you will want to hotkey to a good area for you. So then it's easy to do. So then even as you're moving, you can rotate the camera. Obviously, the benefits of rotating the camera is you'll be able to see what's around, right? Like you can rotate the camera, see how I can see further down along because I've rotated it compared to up. Now, the basic thing is we press the I button and we will go to our inventory screen. This is where we get a look at our character, what they're holding, what they're doing. If you've chosen the barbarian, you're actually going to start off holding 2 one-handed weapons. You're going to see complicated stats like this, right? For now, we're not going to worry about it, but don't worry, I will teach you what these mean, what all of these things mean, but we're going to do it slowly, comfortably, right? So like, grab yourself a coffee, get comfortable. We are going to make the uncomfortable comfortable in this game. Coffee power, cookie power. Sometimes it's easier to just get your feet wet. Trust me, it's not that bad. We're going to run forward, and with the mouse, you left click in the direction you want to attack. So if someone was coming here, don't worry about the keys. If you're like, what do I do? What do I do? Don't worry, just click in the direction where you have the threat, right? He will attack anyone who approaches him as long as you click on them. And don't just click once and stop, because then he stops attacking. Let's go forward. We will come across an enemy very shortly. And we'll talk to this wounded lady. But that's just text, that's just story building, that's just getting objectives. Right, you can ask some extra questions, you can skip through it, you can ask the questions you feel is important, you can skip through it, whatever. Eventually she'll say her thing, right? Now, firstly, if you see something like this, this is your friend. This is where you save the game. See on the screen, you can see here, pops up, press C to save game. I press C, now I have my other video game file here. So we're gonna go down to create new game. For you, you'll have create new game right at the top, right? Hit enter to select, you'll save it, boom. That little explosion means we have saved. So if we die, no worries, mate. You're going to appear right there. But let's go ahead, let's attack an enemy and let's break the ice, right? Let's break the ice. Here we are, see this is an enemy. So they're gonna come, they're going to attack me. Now, just click in the direction that they're in. See how he dropped just like that? Wait for the next one. Went flying again. Oh, sometimes they block. Sometimes you see the right and block pop up. Don't worry. Keep attacking. Eventually you'll get through. See, within seconds, we beat the enemies. Now, you may have noticed as well that when I attack enemies, that a number pops up. That is the damage that you are doing. So let's keep fighting. See, we did a 4 and a 1. And a 4 and a 1, right? Each weapon on you does a different amount of damage. And it's not always the same damage every time. See, we got a 5 there instead of the 4. And we have already leveled up. Now, we're going to ignore that just for now, just because I want to get some more basics down for you, right? One thing I haven't mentioned is you can see on the top left hand corner we have my health. That is the red thing going down because I'm letting him attack me. The green is your experience. Every time this fills up, you get to level up. And you want to level up because then we can make our character stronger. And the blue bar is for basically special moves. These are moves that do more damage than usual. Now let me teach you something which will be your friend. If you hold down the space button, right? And keep in mind, if you are not playing this on PC and you're like, how do I check out the buttons? Then go to your options, find out where the controls are, right? Somewhere, by hitting the start button on your video game controller, you're gonna find a control section. It's gonna tell you where the buttons are. Find out what your block button is and hold it down. Realize how my barbarian is in a different stance? See, I can activate it in any direction where the mouse is. So remember, it's a dual effort. You move the left hand, the right, you control the mouse, and you hold down the block. Now, if you hold down the block, check this out, right? Check this out. We're not even going to get damage. Look at this. This little guy can attack as much as he wants. We are in full control. Even better, there are freaking 2 of them. 2 of them are attacking and it doesn't even hurt. So you're the boss, right? You're the man, you're the woman, you're the one who is in control of this game. Now, whenever you find yourself in a tricky situation, one, you can of course just run away, or just wait for an opening. Realize that there's a little gap between them attacking. As soon as they are done attacking, let go of the spacebar and quickly click. That way, see what just happened there? We can do it again. And this trick works for any enemy. Like, these are little weak goblins, cool. But even when you come across larger guys and girls to fight, just wait, boom. See how easily, see how in control we are, right? All we need to do is master the basics. We master the basics and this game suddenly becomes very easy, right? Let's go to the upgrade screen, right? It prompted me to hit left. Again, if you're playing on a video game controller, you might get something else. And you're greeted with this, right? Now, at first, yes, it's scary. There is like literally 20 different attributes that you can choose to level up. And if you're unfamiliar with this sort of game, if you're unfamiliar with maybe gaming in general, you know, you just want to get your feet wet, looking at this is really hard to figure out what to do. So I will just give you my personal advice as to the easiest things to upgrade, what to focus on, and how the system works. So up here we have, it says 1 point, right? It's letting us know we need a point because this is like currency. If we want to upgrade our toughness, it costs 1. That means we can do it. What does it do? It adds 6 points of damage. Remember when I was attacking the enemy and you had numbers popping up representing how much damage they were taking? Works the other way as well. We have a certain amount of life that we have, right? Normally it's 100. For argument's sake, let's say we have 100 HP, 100 health. That means at full health we're fine. If you lose all your health, you die, right? I'm assuming if you're watching a video like this, you would at least know that much. When you hit 0, you're done, you're dead. This will give us an extra 6 hit points, which means instead of having 100 health, we will have 106 health, right? So that makes us a little bit stronger. Or we can focus on doing more damage. Remember when I attacked and you saw the numbers 4 and 1 come up a lot? If we bring our power attack up, inflict additional damage upon enemies with any melee weapon, that means instead of seeing 1 and 4, we would probably see 1 and 6, you know, or 3 and 6, for example. It just adds an extra 2 damage, and this is where your personal experience comes into play. And every time you level up, you will re-get the opportunity. Don't worry if you make the wrong choice at the moment, right? Don't worry about that. For now, because I do really want to keep things simple, I'm assuming you're a new guy or girl. Let's go with toughness, right? And hit enter. Let's give us the ability to just take more hits, right? As we get more confident, as we get better at the game, then we can venture off, right? I'm going to hit escape to get out of this. And going back at the weapons, right? Remember how we were seeing 1 and 4 pop up, right? Even though both of these weapons do the same amount of damage, right? You see 1, 2, 3. What that means is every time you swing and you hit someone, it has the possibility of doing between 1 and 3 damage. So sometimes you'll get 1, sometimes you'll get 2, sometimes you'll get 3. You're not going to get the guaranteed maximum damage, it is random. What Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance 2 does introduce though, is the fact that you can hold a second item in your hand, right? A second one-handed weapon. That is a new addition. The thing is though, is that your second weapon will do less damage than the main hand. So let's pretend our barbarian is right-handed or whatever. Cool. He's going to swing better with his right hand than he is with his left. So the right hand is going to do more damage, which is in the green, and the grayed out weapon is going to do less damage, which is in the grey. It's still a good combination, but they're not both going to do the same amount of damage. And yes, you can upgrade your character to do better damage with that, right? So now we understand the 1, 2, 3. We're going to play a bit more, and then I'm going to explain to you wait. See, as I said, this gameplay was going to go a bit slowly because I want to get you comfortable with things and introduce elements slowly. If elements are introduced slowly, then the game's not so hard. You may have noticed I just clicked there. If you have your mouse and you click the middle mouse button, you will jump. All right, and there will be times in the game where you will want to jump. You know, there will literally be little mini platforming elements. So let's go forward. So remember, what have we learned so far? We can move around, we attack in any direction that we click, we hold down the spacebar button, which stops almost all incoming damage, and you wait for your opportunity. In between their strikes, let go of the space bar button, attack, and then block again. If you play your cards right, you can avoid getting all damage. So you can't do any damage, whack. Hold it down, wait for them to attack us, whack. See how easily they are falling, right? And yes, sometimes they'll block you. See, there's 3 of them, even 3. And sometimes it's a bit too hard to be strategic when you're surrounded like this. Cool. Button mash the left mouse button towards all of them. Chase them down. You be the aggressor, right? Now, occasionally, I say occasionally, but it'll happen a lot, items will be dropped. See how there's this little thing here and you get close to it, it gets that white highlight, and you also see the text here, pick up shoddy padded gloves. Pick up everything, right? Because this is going to be the next section that I teach you. You're already doing pretty good with combat, believe it or not, so good job. So we've pressed I to get back into here. I is for inventory. And we're in the weapons thing, right? If we click the next one, we go into clothing. If we double click that or hit enter, our character wears it. See how that looks different? If you double click again, he had these sort of little braces, but I double click here and it changes my physical appearance, right? You will get different armor, you will get different bits of clothing, which will in turn make your character stronger and more protected. How we can tell is the number beside the plus symbol. Now, ironically enough, because we're at the start of the game, even this item we picked up has no health value, right? It's not giving us better defense, but in case you like the look of that, you can take it. The other thing to keep in mind with picking up items is they have value. See up here, we have the number 46. That's how much gold I have, right? I have 46 gold, and you see here that underneath every item there's a value. That's worthless, 0, worthless. Oh, but the shoddy padded gloves that we picked up is worth 11 gold. So even if this doesn't give us better defense, we want to hold on to it because we can sell all items later. There will be a spot where every single piece of item you pick up, even if it seems worthless, pick it up because you can sell it, and when you sell it, you can buy better items, you know? You can buy better weapons, better armor, and better items. But let's move on. Again, I want to introduce things to you very slowly. Don't forget that you can rotate the camera. On the PC version, it's Q and E. So let's keep looking. See, and it's good to look around because you can see here I'm moving down. I can't see where I'm going. But if I rotate the camera, hold it down, then I can see where I'm going. Eventually you'll get used to it where you can both move and rotate the camera. See, I killed him, he dropped gold. That's obviously very handy. You want to always pick up gold. So let's go towards the enemy and just click in their direction. They're gonna fall. Oh, see here? Shoddy longsword. So you listen to it, and every time you see that pop up down here, and that, hit C, pick it up, right? Now, when you see barrels, attack them because they can break. Sometimes there's gold, sometimes there's special items inside, and sometimes you'll find chests. Again, press C, something will explode out of it. We'll pick that up, and we'll press C again to pick up the 8 gold. Now, we've gotten some good items here. Look at this. Shoddy longsword is worth 33, it's worth the most. And it goes 1 to 4. So it is worth more than both of these items, right? So I'm going to double click the sword. You can see that the graphic actually changes here. We've picked up the sword. And our left hand has that. So we are now stronger because we picked up a sword. If we go to now the armored section, right? This is the clothing, right? Just think of clothes. We look down here. You can also go up and down with the WASD keys or click. We go here, shoddy scale gloves. Look at this. Our first piece of item, our first piece of clothing that has a 2 next to the plus. That means, yes, we get +2 armor. The more armor, the less damage enemies do when they hit you. Obviously we want that, so just double click it or hit enter and you will select it. See, once again, the visual look changes. That's how you know you've equipped it and all that. And every time you equip a new item, the old item will automatically be deselected. So right now we have the shoddy, we select the scale gloves though, and we've automatically deselected the other one. We are a stronger character now. We are a stronger character. We look a bit different. We already have a different sword and weapon. That's awesome. Another trick, which is very important, is if you press the tab key, you can get rid of the minimap. You can press tab again and have it huge if that works better for you, so you can see the immediate error. This is you. Or you can have the minimap in the corner. Personally, I like that because see how it actually shows where I am? This is how you find secrets in Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance 2, and you definitely want that, right? You definitely want that because this was actually a little bit of a secret area, right? This was a little bit of a secret area, but you look at the map, say you're up here, and you think that's all there is to it. And you look over here, you're like, hang on, there's something over here. This is how I've found lots in my own personal playthrough. This is how I found lots of better weapons, better armor, lots of gold, right? So always keep this here. That's my opinion. You can get rid of it. You can wing it, or you can have it fill up the map, up to you. Personally, I prefer to have it in the corner. That way I can see what I'm doing. See here? This isn't part of the map. Sorry, this isn't part of the road. See? If we go on the road here, we go here. The game wants you to go here. But looking at my map, I'm like, hang on, what's up here? And by being observant, by looking at the map, voila, look at that. There is a chest here, right? There is a hidden chest. This is your first official secret. Well done, congratulations. Let's open that. We got a new weapon and 6 gold. So let's press I. Let's go back to the weapon tab, because you will remember whichever one you had open last. Look at this. This is a huge upgrade. 4 to 6. That means minimum 4 damage. It will do 4, 5, or 6 damage. Compared to what we started with, the 1, 2, 3. Obviously a huge upgrade. So let's double click that. And let me teach you now a pro tip, right? You are obviously aware that you can have a weapon in your main hand and your offhand, but you can actually choose what is in your offhand. So at the moment, our main hand has the shoddy Morningstar, 4 to 6 damage, cool. But by default, we still have this short sword, the 1, 2, 3. We don't want that because we can see right underneath there is a 1, 2, 4. We want to equip that, and yet if we try to double click it, it won't work. It gets rid of the main hand. So what you want to do, again, but it will be different if you're playing this on Switch, on a PlayStation console, on an Xbox console, but on PC, you hit tab, right? So now I have the strongest weapon in my main hand and the second strongest weapon in my other hand, right? Which is good. And we want to hold on to everything. We want to hold on to everything because, as I said, this game actually gives you a lot of opportunities to sell items, right? Everything has value, so you want to carry that so then you can sell it all. It's very easy to sell. Please don't be intimidated by that aspect. I will, of course, guide you through it. Alright, so let's teach you something else, right? If I roll my mouse wheel, right, I have these different things pop up here. Barbarian Rage and Sprint. You will have both of these, and we're actually going to learn together what they do because I don't know what it does, right? These are your special moves. Remember here, before I said blue is for special. When we activate one of these special moves, it uses some of the blue magic. So remember, red is your health. When that goes all the way there, you're dead. This is your XP, your experience points. Remember, we upgrade ourselves earlier. Every time this bar gets full, our character gets permanently stronger. It's not a piece of clothing, and that's our special. So let's use Sprint, right? Now, Sprint, a quick burst of running speed. In order to use a move, right, for the PC, you already know your attack button. If you hold down the shift button and then click, you will do whatever move is selected. So in this case, I have a sprint, and see here, the blue, it keeps going down. That's because I'm using power to do it. And this move literally is just sprint, right? The next move is Barbarian Rage. This is probably the one we will use the most. See here how it has these numbers that maybe looks a little bit confusing? Don't worry about it. All you need to know is that we will get stronger. We will do more damage. So let's hold down Shift and press the attack button. All right. So we now have Barbarian Rage as long as that red stuff is coming out. So let's attack an enemy. 5-9, 7-3. Realize how the attack numbers are now a lot higher. That's because of my Barbarian Rage. Now let's pick up the leather boots. And remember, the drops aren't going to be the exact same. Drops are random. So if while watching this, they've dropped an item, it's like, oh, I didn't get that. Don't worry, it's random. But until you get used to it, every time you pick up an item, hit I, go into your inventory screen. This is your paused screen, right? No one can hurt you while you're in this screen. Make this screen your comfort place. Now look at this. I picked up boots. Boots that have 2 defense, right? Compared to what I have now. So you can look. Always compare to what you have. And the green lets you know what's selected. Alright, so my current boots are cloth boots. They are worth 0 gold coins, and they give me 0 protection. Alright. This is worth 2 protection, and is worth 60. Let's double click that. See how it changes? We even get these really cool thug. Oh, you can even strip them, but you don't want to do that. Little spikes. We now have better defense. Now look, you can click on this thing here, right? And this will show you specifically how much health do you have, how much energy you have, base attack, this and that. But to be honest, for beginners, I think this is a little bit complicated and you don't really need to look at this. I think the only thing you need to know is how to know when a weapon is better, when a piece of armor is better, and how to use your moves, right? Now, this video is going to go for as long as it takes to teach you all the basic mechanics and so forth, right? So please don't feel at any stage, right, I've learned everything I need to learn, I can go ahead, this guy's just rambling on. It's like, no, if the video is still going, I still have more things to teach you. And trust me, these are games which you will spend like 100 hours in, right? You are going to love this game by the time I'm done with you. And I can't wait for you to start your journey. Now, looking at the map as well, right? One thing which you may notice is, see how it's like faded here, but you can see here, the map only reveals where you have already been. Where you have already been. That's how you know if you have checked out a place fully. My advice is you do want to check things out, right? You want to check. See here? This is not part of the track at all. Without my advice, you would just go up here. No. Use my advice, pay attention to your map. Oh, there's a gap here. Okay. What happens if I go in this gap? Oh, there's one guard. And a treasure chest. You see what I mean? Our character at this stage is so much stronger than they should be and so much more well equipped because we pay attention to our map. So let's pick up whatever they give us, our gold. Also, if you hit I, you will literally see the visual representation of the gold going up, which is very nice. Let me teach you one other thing as well, right? This is why I felt this video was important. There is a lot of little mechanics to keep in mind. Now, if you already know these mechanics, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But if this is all new to you, how intimidating is it? Like, there's so many small details, but one by one, step by step, rewind the video, maybe watch it a couple times, you will learn everything. The next thing which I want to discuss is weight. There is a weight to every weapon, every piece of armor that you have. So see here, the shoddy hand axe, we have the attack, we have the value, but to the right, we have a picture of a scale, right? And the number 5. That means that this weapon is 5 kilos or 5 pounds or 5 whatever from whichever country you're from, right? It's worth 5. Up here shows our limit, right? It shows us two things. It shows us how much we're currently carrying, and it shows us our maximum limit, right? So at the moment, I am carrying 36 kilos, whatever this is, right? Carrying 36. I can carry up to 240, so I don't need to worry about that. But eventually, this 36 is going to hit 240, and while that may seem insane, trust me, it will happen a lot. You will pick up a lot of items, right? And so you will then start to look at items a bit differently, because like here, we have 2 swords, whatever. What I see is 8 kilos, and then you will decide, is it worth keeping, is it not? Everything weighs differently. Like this one-handed weapon is 12 freaking kilos. It's 12 kilos. It is so much that it's basically the equivalent of the first 3 weapons, right? Now, we don't need to focus on that anymore. I will return to it later. I'm just planting the seed. That's what I like to do, right? Plant the seeds already. Even if you're feeling a little bit confused, my friend, you have learned so much. You have learned, how to read damage, which between 1 to 3 damage, it could be either one of those. It's a random luck of the draw when you swing. You understand value. You know that those numbers there is how much you'll be able to sell your items for, which will then go to your pile. You now also know weight. You understand weight. You understand how to equip a second weapon as well, right? See on the bottom here, how it says here, tab equip offhand. If you're playing this on console, see what pops up there. There'll be another instruction there popping up telling you how to equip offhand. And believe it or not, with my first run through with the other character, it took me friggin' ages to realize how to equip the second weapon. So I'm actually giving you some advice I would have loved to have had at the beginning. Alright, put on my glasses because my eyes have started to get tired. Let's continue, because yes, there's still plenty of things to learn. Now, I'm going to show you how to look up your special attack and know exactly what it does. So we know that this is called Barbarian Rage. Let's hit I, and all you need to remember is go to the last one, right? So go to the last one, we click, let's look for the word Barbarian Rage. It's the third one, and there's a 1, right? Now, enter a state of Barbaric Rage. While in rage, you will be unable to block, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Yes, Barbarian Rage makes us stronger. We obviously do a lot more attack, but we can't block. So every single swing they do, they're probably going to hit us. So we need to keep that in mind. So this Barbarian Rage can be upgraded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Most things can be upgraded 5 times. Some things can only be upgraded 2 or 3. You can move along this big list and you can decide what's important to you. Also, a very easy way to keep track of what is it you've already unlocked is don't try to read them, just look for these. I obviously have these. I don't have any of these because they're empty. Scroll down. Oh, I have this because there's one of those things. Cool, we haven't had that before. Lesser rejuvenation potion. So we'll pick that up, right? Notice the color is blue. That's because that is meant to match this. Now you can pick up potions. Here's a tab we haven't been to, the third one. We can pick up potions and the potions heal us. This blue one gives us more of that special energy juice. And later we will find a red potion, which will give us more life. So when we're running out of life, we use the red one. When we're running out of the blue stuff, we use the blue stuff. Alrighty, so there's 2 more buttons that you really do need to know. Firstly, we have the health, right? The hotkey, the button you press to magically fill that up, is with the H button. H is for health. If you want to fill up your magic meter, then you need to press G, right? So H and G, they're right beside each other. And remember, that's dependent on if you have any magic potion bottles here. If you have a blue one, then you press G to use that to fill up your blue bar. If you have a red one that's for your health, you hit the H bar, right? And sometimes you'll find yourself just losing too much health. See, I don't have much here. So maybe you want to run away for a moment, and that's okay. That's actually a really good strategy. Run away around the corner until you're safe. Maybe they'll follow you, but then it's easier to kill them one by one. See, he's blocking, I can block. You know, we can try psych each other out. Eventually we'll win. Now, if we hit H for health, look at the top left hand corner, boom. Just like that, we have our health, we can return. By retreating, it actually made things easier for us to come and attack. This is a good bit, right? This is something which you will absolutely like. So let's go to the weapon bit. I've talked about your main hand, I've talked about your offhand, but there is also the option in this game to attack from afar. Right, so I have this shoddy crossbow. If I double click this, realize it gets a third color, right? It gets a different color, and now our barbarian is holding this. But notice we haven't de-equipped the other weapons. What's going on? Well, hit escape and get out of that. Firstly, wherever you click, you will shoot. It is unlimited. All you need to do is keep clicking towards the enemy, they will drop. But now, if you press the F key, we can switch to our normal setup, and at the click of a button, we're immediately into the attack from a distance. This is very good strategically because it means when we see an enemy from afar, we can shoot them, and then when they get closer to us, quickly switch and attack. So I'll show you how that looks in motion. See? Dead without even coming near me. So obviously there's a lot of advantages to it. When they're close up though, it's not ideal because they'll keep attacking you. You also can't block in this. Now let me show you a different type of weapon. So again, go to your inventory screen, scroll all the way down. We haven't had this type of weapon before. This is a shoddy great axe. What's different about it? Well, if we select it, we get once again a different color. We get the purple, and you'll notice that both of our hands are holding this axe. This is a two-handed weapon. Two-handed weapons normally do more damage than single individual weapons, where my max here is 4 to 6. This is 6 to 8. So this is obviously stronger. The thing is though, is that these weapons are normally slower. They are slower, and I can only hold one, right? So instead of having the impact of my main weapon's damage plus a little bit less damage from my second weapon, we're trading it in fully for just one big old smack. In fact, if you pick up something and you don't want it, because look here, it's worth 45, cool, it's 20 kilos. Both of these axes are 40 kilos altogether. If you middle click it, you can drop them. You can just put them right back on the floor. At any time you can drop your items. That way you can be a little bit crafty as to what you think is important. Okay, as you can see in front of you now, we actually have a very different character in front of us. This is my first character build. I've deliberately switched accounts so that I can show some other things which are very important in this game, right? At some point while playing, you're gonna come across a potion called the recall potion, right? These are very important, never get rid of them. What the recall potion will let you do is once you've gone far enough in the game where you have your main base and where you can sell items, every time you use recall, you teleport there, then you can teleport back. So at the moment, I'm in the middle of a dungeon here, right? However, if I press the escape button and hit recall, I will magically teleport away, and I will end up in the town square, where you'll talk to this gentleman. This trader is the guy you will always be selling things to. So I want to teach you how to sell things, how to buy things, and how to benefit from the fact that I've been telling you all this time to carry as many things as possible, right? And there is a big benefit to that. So when you talk to this guy, right, you have buy, sell, workshop. Just to keep things simple, because that's the point of this tutorial, go to sell, right? You go to sell, and then immediately every item that you have will be here. Every item that you have, right? Now you can see here, because I'm further along in the game, I have a whole bunch of items. I have a whopping 127,000 gold, right? And that's because I've actually chosen to invest in my character being able to carry as much as possible, so then I can pick up everything. And keeping in mind, because this is your actual items, you have to be careful not to sell what you already have equipped. Thankfully, anything you have equipped is colored, you know, so I'm holding that, I'm holding that, and I'm holding that. Everything else I can sell. So I hit enter, 127,553, 128. Oh, bit more. See, I can keep selling. See I keep selling, going up thousands and thousands and thousands. Right? This is the benefit of picking up everything, and a pro tip from someone who has spent a lot of times. I know my main file showed that I've only spent like 9.5 hours, but in the previous Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance game, I have like 90 hours or something, right? So trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Sell everything you're not holding, as long as it's weaker. Obviously, if you've gone here to sell, then that means that you've equipped and decided on everything you like, right? Cool. Everything else is lesser, so sell, 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 sell. Also, what you'll come across later is you'll get things like rings, right? You'll get rings and amulets and flawless rings and diamonds and so forth, right? Pick everything up, keep finding those secrets, keep looking at the map like I've taught you, so then when you come back here, you can sell everything and just roll in money. See, at the start of this conversation, we had 130,000. We have 138. You can, even if you have too many rejuvenation potions, say your character build doesn't use many of them, sell them. Right? Sell them. Do what you want. We now have 140,000, right? We got rid of a lot of junk, so now we have more room to carry additional. When you're done in the selling section, then you go to the buy, right? Now, this whole buying and selling thing is a really big, strong component which will give you a huge advantage in this game. New players don't know how important it is to buy and sell, but I'm teaching you up front in advance that you want to pick up everything. When you upgrade your character build, if you're not struggling too much with the difficulty, invest in your endurance, invest in the stat that lets you carry more things. It will literally tell you in the description, carry more things, because the more things you can carry, the more things you do carry, the more things you do carry, the more things you sell, right? And then you can go here and you can look at these really strong items. You know, look at this, 12 to 27. That's a lot more damage than what you've seen up until this point through my video, right? But that costs 997 gold just for that one item. Depending on what you buy, you can go up to as much as 10,000 and more. Same thing with armor, with clothing, right? You have all these options. So the game rewards you if you're smart and give yourself the money, right? I mean, if you did enjoy today's video, if you enjoyed the fact that I took time out of my day to teach you all this stuff, because frankly, you know, I obviously didn't need to, hit like on the video, you know, leave a nice comment. If you have any additional questions, feel free to ask. And I do consider subscribing if you like lose my voice. Do consider subscribing if you do enjoy a positive YouTuber. Again, this was just a gift to my community. I seriously doubt I will get many views for this video, but you know what? If I help another fellow gamer get into a game with a bit more confidence, well, then that's payment enough for me. Anyways, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you all live on this big blue planet of ours. God bless you all. Take care. See you for the next video here. Game My Whole Life. All right. Bye-bye.